A. There must have been a hurricane or a tornado. B. It can't be a real locomotive. It must be an advertisement. C. He might have teased the bull. D. The driver must have lost control of the truck. E. It might be a new design of sunglasses. F. It must be the crater of a volcano, or maybe a meteorite could have fallen. G. It could be something from another planet.
Meteorite hits house. New Orleans, Louisiana, USA. When Ray and Judy Fawcett arrived home on the afternoon of September 23, 2003, they discovered to their amazement that a meteorite had crashed through their two-story house. Neighbors said that they had heard a terrific noise, and two people had actually seen the fireball when the meteor hit. The meteorite had penetrated through the Fawcett's roof and the house's 2 floors, and it had ended up in the crawl space under the house, leaving debris and fragments along its path. A total mass of 42.5 pounds, 19.3 kilograms, from the meteorite was recovered from the Fawcett house. The 3 largest fragments weighed 6.5 pounds, 2.9 kilograms, 2.9 pounds, 1.3 kilograms, and 2.2 pounds, 1 kilogram.
What might have happened?
The driver might have hit a car on the road. What do you think it is?
It can't be a house. It must be an observatory.
Erica Schwartz. I'd invited a new friend for breakfast. While we were drinking our coffee, my guest asked if I wasn't going to introduce the gentleman who had previously been in the dining room. I said it must have been my husband, Joe, and I went to look for him. But the person had disappeared. My friend assured me she had seen a man who was wearing dark pants, a white shirt, and a black tie. That night, I told my husband about it, but then we forgot all about the incident. 2 weeks later, my 10-year-old daughter woke up and saw a man standing at the foot of her bed, staring at her. We told her she must have had a bad dream. Several nights later, we heard noises of chairs being moved around in the dining room. Joe went downstairs to investigate. The chairs had been moved from their places, but there was no one there. As soon as he climbed back into bed, the noise started again. We lived with those noises for more than a year, and some of the guests who slept in our house swore they had seen a man who wore dark pants, a white shirt, and a black tie. In the end, we had to sell the place and move out.
Fred and Mildred McCann. Fred and Mildred McCann had finished rounding up the cattle and were heading home after a long and extremely hot day. It was already dark by the time they got to the edge of the woods that surrounded their property. Suddenly, they noticed a strange glow coming from the bushes about 100 yards away. Could it be sparks from a fire? A fire at this time of the year would be catastrophic. Mildred and Fred got on their horses and rode to the spot. As they approached a clearing in the middle of the trees, they saw hundreds of tiny lights flickering in the bushes. They looked like miniature stars. Crater, driver, recover, water, discover. Crater, driver, recover, water, discover.
Excuse me, what's going on?
When I got to the park, a crowd had already gathered around that weird thing over there.
Gee, I wonder what it is.
Beats me. It must have fallen from the sky. Do you have any idea what it might be?
Whatever it is, it's man-made. It looks like part of a satellite to me.
Or it might be the remains of a weather balloon.
No, it can't be. I've seen weather balloons before, and that's not the type of equipment they have.
You see those lights flashing? And there's a humming sound coming from it. It must be a communications satellite.
Or maybe one of those UFOs. You never know.
What does Greg say?
1. Yeah, we'd better call the police. 2. It might be a time bomb. Let's get out of here. 3. I'm going to stick around to see what happens. 4. Your idea.
Vision 2030, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is blessed with a great amount of natural resources and amazing opportunities for economic growth and development. However, the kingdom's most valuable asset is its Islamic, family-oriented society. The people. The kingdom's 2030 vision will provide the support and opportunities that this society needs in order to develop its potential. The members of the kingdom society will enjoy a secure and happy life in a secure and sustainable environment. They will have social support, healthcare, and high-quality education. They will be able to raise their children according to Islamic values and help develop their talents and abilities. Culture and entertainment projects will contribute to the quality of life and celebrate the nation's faith, national identity, culture, and heritage. Libraries, galleries, and museums will be established in different areas. Higher education will address real needs and provide the knowledge and training that people need for employment and professional development. The kingdom is honored to welcome and serve an increasing number of pilgrims and visitors from across the globe every year. The expansion of the 2 holy mosques and the upgrading of services and facilities will cater for 15 million visitors by 2020. The economy. The kingdom's economy will grow and expand into new sectors. A dynamic business environment with upgraded services and facilities will offer opportunities for investment and attract large and small businesses from different countries. The kingdom's geographical position will help make it an international trade and transportation center that connects Europe, Africa, and Asia. Telecommunications and information technology will be updated and made available in urban and rural areas. This will provide additional access to information and employment opportunities for citizens who live in remote areas. Government services will be streamlined to support the establishment and operation of new enterprises in different sectors. The renewed and streamlined business environment will increase opportunities for citizens and attract investors from all over the world.
The Daily Reading Journal.
We tend to think of remote controls as new devices. However, what we now take for granted at home or at work has been developed over a very long time. One of the earliest examples of remote control was developed in 1898 by Nikola Tesla, who demonstrated a radio-controlled boat to the public during an electrical exhibition at Madison Square Garden. In 1903, Leonardo Torres Quevedo presented the Telekino at the Paris Academy of Science. It consisted of a robot that executed commands transmitted by electromagnetic waves and was a pioneer in the field of remote control. The first remote-controlled model airplane flew in 1932, and by the late 1930s, several radio manufacturers offered remote controls for some of their more exclusive models. The first television remote control was developed in 1950. It was called Lazy Bones and was connected to the television set by a wire. A wireless and then an ultrasound remote control were developed in the mid-50s, but neither was reliable. More sophisticated television remote controls were introduced in the late 70s, but they had a limited number of functions, sometimes as few as 3. Next channel, previous channel, and volume off. Remote controls with a wider range of functions were finally launched in the 80s and became an immediate success. For the first time, viewers no longer watched programs just because they did not want to get up to change the channel. They could also channel surf during commercials or turn the sound off. By the early 2000s, the number of remote controls increased along with the number of electronic devices. Consumers needed a remote for each device. This led to the development of universal remote controls that can be used with different devices. Imagine controlling everything around you with the touch of a button on one single remote control. Is it wonderful or scary?